really think at this point, the only thing to do is have a mass exodus from the public school system. That's it.
One mom drawing a standing ovation after calling for, in her words, mass exodus from public schools amid outrage over the directive from the Department of Justice for the FBI to investigate threats of violence at school board meetings, treating parents as domestic terrorists, a phrase used by the National School Boards Association in a letter to Joe Biden. Now, Senator Mitch McConnell is slamming the move in a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland. McConnell writes this, in part, telling elected officials they're wrong is democracy, not intimidation. Here now, Bill McGurn from the Wall Street Journal. He's also a Fox contributor, and you've written about just a kind of part of this overall fight. Bill, it is deeply troubling what Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice are doing, but now what?
Yeah, look, when Joe Biden came in, remember after his victory, it was all about grace and healing and treating people that have different opinions with respect. And now as Attorney General's responding to that letter, Merrick Garland didn't use the word domestic terrorism, but he talked about the FBI investigating when there's no clear federal crimes to investigate. Look, I think there's a purpose to this. The purpose is for progressives to attack anyone who doesn't abide by their agenda, to attack them as white supremacists, insurrectionists, or terrorists. That's designed to kill debate, because you don't debate with insurrectionists or terrorists, you arrest them.
Well, and you were writing about Thomas Jefferson High School in Fairfax County, right, and what happened there with the watering down of the admission standards to ensure that a smaller percentage of Asian American students got to go to this gifted and talented school. And these, again, these white elitist liberals are picking on the wrong folks. If you look at Ashra Nomani, she was born in Bombay, wrote for the Wall Street Journal. This is not does not follow along race, and it doesn't follow along now, certainly with the FBI bearing down on angry parents. It doesn't follow along Republican versus Democrat or conservative versus liberal. It's parents versus the Biden White House.
It's the public. Look, Astra last night was at a meeting of the school board in Fairfax County, and with a lot of the other parents, she turned up with a T-shirt that said, "I'm a parent, not a domestic terrorist." These are people who are finding out that probably the most important public institution in their lives, the public schools, do not believe themselves accountable to the public. And that's the larger issue behind this. They all have different concerns: critical race theory, admission standards using race preferences rather than merit, some of the material in the school libraries, the COVID closures. But all this is about taking an institution that doesn't seem to think it's accountable to the public. And you want to radicalize a parent, have them go to a school board meeting and try to be heard.
Right, or you want to radicalize a parent, have the governor or the man who's running for governor, the former governor, Terry McAuliffe in Virginia, say, "I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach." All of this is an effort to kind of cover up the real hot garbage job that the teachers' unions have done at educating, particularly children of color in cities across this fine nation. Bill, but speaking of Terry McAuliffe and it wasn't a slip-up. He accidentally told the truth in that debate with
right,
Youngkin.
That's the definition of the...
Right.
That's the definition of a Washington gaffe, right, letting out the truth when you didn't mean to. Or
saying that Biden's unpopular in Virginia, which is actually the truth as well. But maybe Virginia is going to be a turning point for the Democrats in Washington in this race, because Youngkin, as your colleague Kim Strassel wrote today, he's promising 20 new charter schools in the state when the state has been abysmal in school standards compared to other states. He's really promising a lot to parents across that state, Northern Virginia and Southside, where I grew up.
Yeah, I mean, what people are learning is that the needs of parents and their children especially come second. There are all these institutional needs that the teachers' unions want and all these other school officials, and they want to be insulated from any pressure from parents. And if you look at the changes, people are clearly crying out for more and better alternatives. Look at the increase in homeschooling among African American families. It's tremendous because they're not happy with the public schools.
I went through that. I went to public schools in Southern Virginia, and I was wildly undereducated, and it took years to kind of recover from that. And I think children across this country continue, particularly after COVID, continue to suffer through that. Bill McGurn, you're the best. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Tegan.
Great to see you as always.